What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix land? This once again is Scott Porter back for a brand new WizKids HeroClix unboxing series. And this time, I know I say this every time, but I am an X-Men fan through and through. And guess what? This one is, let's everybody say hi to Professor X right there, House of X. Woo! I am so incredibly thrilled and honored to be bringing this new set to you guys. When the solicits for this thing came out, I was already knee-deep in Hickman's run and just kind of in awe once again. I think last time I was with you guys for a Marvel set, it was Fantastic Four. We were dealing with Hickman stuff there. And, man, that guy just has his tendrils everywhere. And now he's taking on the X-Men. And this storyline is just incredible. House of X, Powers of X, leading into Dawn of X, which is just a plethora of books, not all written by him, but just a lot of great stuff. If you have stayed away from the X-Men for a long time, I do warn you, House of X and Powers of X is not necessarily like a new re-entry point. It is going to be a slow burn. You're going to read this book and kind of be questioning what is happening right now. But you will find out very quickly who the pivotal character is, and it's kind of... It has now set the stage for the Dawn of X, which now we have a lot of new hero teams, a lot of different reconfigurations in the mutant world and the mutant landscape. So on the front there, you see, of course, Professor X and Magneto. You got Wolverine, Jean Grey, Cyclops. I mean, top 5 X-Men characters, coming out of that gate there. On the side, we've got X-Force. That's the new X-Force. We've got the new Excalibur. On the other side, we've got the X-Men proper and the Marauders led by Kate Pryde. Don't call her Kitty. Do not call her Kitty any longer. And then on the back, of course, we have a preview of who a chase could be. It is like Christmas morning for me. I'm so freaking giddy right now. This is incredible. WizKids also sent me their Dyson token pack and the Fast Forces. So we are going to get into all of this. And they might have sent me the Apocalypse Rogue figure. That is the prize support figure. So we might get a good look at that in this unboxing series as well. All right, let's see. Let's crack into this this brick here, and let's start pulling all these boosters out. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Here we go. We start. If you've never watched one of these unboxing series before, we'll do 2 boosters a day. Monday through Friday, a 5-video series. Quick and dirty. I'll talk a lot about the books as well as the figures themselves. Let's take a look at the booster up close here. I know I showed you from kind of far away. You can see the image on the front there. On the side, there you go. X-Men, Marauders. You're going to see a lot of fan favorites in positions that you wouldn't expect. The other side of the box here, we've got X-Force, Excalibur, which is a very cool book. Yes, you are seeing Apocalypse there on an X-Men team. And then, of course, Old Man Phoenix on the back here. Now, if we're following the structure that WizKids has set out, that's going to be a chase figure. I don't know if he's the only one. I don't know who else we could have, but it would be really cool to have different versions of, like super powerful versions of our favorite X-Men. Hopefully we'll get regular versions of them in the set, and then they can do a little twist on it, and that makes that chase feel special and worth, for lack of a better word, chasing. Man, we are so close to Hickman's run. I mean, it's still going on now. Hickman's still writing on X-Men. So unlike Fantastic Four, we're in the midst of the storyline. So I don't know how far into Dawn of X we're going to go. In my personal opinion, maybe WizKids should have called this Dawn of X because they show you all the Dawn of X teams on the side. But we'll get more into what the books are about in just a couple minutes as we start pulling the figures out. What am I going to expect in this set? Well, judging from the outside of the box, we're going to have all of the heavy hitters of the X-Men universe. Hopefully we'll have New Mutants as well. That's a big book that Hickman was writing himself in an alternating fashion. So hopefully we'll get a bunch of those people. We'll get the Quiet Council. We'll get the 5. I mean, oh my gosh, there's so much we could have. The interesting thing about this set to me, though, is that House of X and Powers of X, basically all of the mutants are living on the island of Krakow. All of the mutants, good or bad. So usually we have heroes and villains, and I'll separate them into two separate piles when I start unboxing everything. But in this one, I don't know if that's going to be the case because everybody's kind of on the same side now. Mutants united for their future and to try and avoid the destiny that Moira McTaggart, who is kind of the main protagonist of House of X and Powers of X, has seen. She has seen the downfall of mutant kind over and over and over again through her, prior to this series, unknown mutant power of kind of rebirth. I don't want to spoil too much because I know people might still just kind of be picking up the book now. So it's going to be tough for me. I warn you, spoilers may be ahead. But when you have all those mutants on the island and everybody is pseudo-friendly with each other, then you're not really dealing with heroes or villains. You're just dealing with mutants out and out. And so you're going to be able to build just an incredible amount of teams, theme teams through this set. I can't wait. This is going to be such a huge mutant injection into the HeroClix world, and it's time to go. Before we start opening boosters, let's crack open the dice and token set. All right. This is one of my favorite parts. Like I said last time, my son likes to take my tokens and run around the house. He thinks they're the coolest things, and they're magnetic, so they'll stick to things sometimes. Or the older ones were. I think these ones still are as well. So I'll find my tokens just stuck all around the house because my 5-year-old son, who is starting to learn more and more how to play HeroClix, by the way, he just absolutely loves them. Let's take a peek at who's on the tokens that we get. First, we get X, of course, Professor X, who was, unfortunately removed from this planet by Cyclops, and then came back through a, somewhat convoluted storyline about the Shadow King, but I digress. We've got Emma Frost. We've got Kate Bishop with her Hold Fast tattoos on her fingers. She's the leader of the Marauders now. We've got Jean Grey, who came back and in her Limited Phoenix series and then took over X-Men Red. And some of the things that she did still resonate right now in House and Powers of X and everything going forward. We've got Magneto and his he just looks so dapper in that silver costume. And then we've got Storm as well. But let's flip them over real quick and see what we got on the back. Phobos armor, PhD apes. Oh, yeah. Are we going to get horticulture in here? There's the skinless assassins. Let's see. We've got an Orcus soldier, of course. Horticulture. Okay. And Coven Akaba. Okay. All right. Here's the cool thing about all these guys. These are the panicking human beings on Earth and their feeble attempts to figure out how to get onto Krakow, how to remove this mutant problem that they have. Coven Akaba, they, of course, came from Apocalypse's past. They worshipped him for a very long time. Now they've turned against him. They want mutants gone. Horticulture are these little old ladies who deal. They thought they had the world's food situation figured out. They were going to do some population culling themselves, and now they're mad at the mutants because the mutants have discovered some drugs that can prolong human life, that can remove diseases from humanity, and it's all based out of Krakowan nature. And they develop these drugs, and they basically go to the rest of the world and they say, "Hey, world, we're going to become a sovereign nation, and you're going to let us do that because we have these drugs that can heal you, can cure you, can keep you alive longer, are going to be a huge boon to humanity, and the only place you can get them is through us. So recognize us as a sovereign nation. We're changing the world economy. We're changing everything." So all of these people are standing up and trying to take over. You've got the skinless assassins, who are kind of like New Age Reavers, and you've got Phobos armor, which is this power-dampening armor. They first encounter it in Russia. So that's really cool. Bystander tokens. I don't know how they're going to be popped out at different points, but they're all coming from different storylines within the Marvel Universe. Horticulture is my favorite, though. These little old ladies. These little old ladies who shoot a goo. They come through one of the Krakowan gates because Krakoa, they have these teleportation gates set up all over the world where people can teleport to the island. Mutants can teleport to the island because everybody is invited and everybody's supposed to come along. And Horticulture finds a way to break through. And they're these mean old ladies. They're super funny. So the tokens look great. Give us a little bit of a idea of what's coming. The dice are awesome. The X's are 6s. They're not like the Fantastic Four set where the 4 was actually the 4 and I mistook it for 6s. So there we go, Dyson tokens. And let's move right on to the Fast Forces. Where did I put that bad boy? Here we go. The Fast Forces, you've got Beast, you've got Wolverine, you've got Jean Grey, you've got Domino. Oh, Domino is so cool. I bet throughout the first 5 minutes of this video or 10 minutes of this video, people are a little bit confused with all of the things that I'm saying. I didn't do a very good job of giving you guys the setup. Before I start opening the boosters, I will give you the proper setup of House of X, Powers of X, and where we go from here. In the meantime, we've got Sage, who's kind of the head of tech on Krakoa. We've got Beast here. We've got Wolverine. Beast has a unique ring there. We've got Domino, but this Domino looks different than you have ever seen. She's got a little bit of Krakoan technology grafted onto her from Forge. It's Krakoan weaponry that Forge created. There's Jean Grey, and then we do have the man himself, Forge here, who's really kind of communing with Krakoa, just like a lot of the mutants are. They have their own language. They have their own science that they're developing. There is so much happening on the island of Krakoa. It is all of the mutants coming together in this strange place, this incredibly strange terrain of Krakoa, who has agreed to let them all live there. He creates food, flora, fauna. There are beasts on Krakoa that are a little bit dangerous, but everybody's moving there, building homes there. Quite a few people live there on the island. There's like a big bonfire. Everybody's partying all the time. Dazzler's singing constantly. But yeah, they're developing their own technology. So Forge is a big part of that. Sage is a big part of it. They have their own language. Krakoa downloads it to them every time a new mutant comes to the island. Krakoa, or one of the telepaths, downloads their own mutant language to every single mutant on the island so they can speak on their own. And they're taking real ownership of their destiny on Earth. And it's pretty dang cool. So really interesting thing that Hickman has done here. Okay, let's take a look at their cards. You guys might have seen these. Apologies if you have, but I haven't yet. So I come into these things blind. Here's Wolverine's card. Take a look at it real quick. And let's see. He's got X-Force, X-Men, and Animal keywords. He's set number 1. He comes in at 75 or 50 points. James Hallett, he's got X-Force, X-Men, and Animal, like I said. He's got a trait, the Mutant CIA. That is the new X-Force. Grants them stealth as a trait, and the ability to run through hindering terrain, and the ability to shoot through hindering terrain, which is really nice, actually. You got some improved movement and improved targeting there. X-Force is a movement power. Charge, free. If Wolverine occupies hindering terrain, place him in a square of hindering terrain within 3 squares and line of fire. Place. It's very important. That's super cool. He's also got a special defense power. I think this one's still alive. Stop and impervious. So Wolverine with a stop click. It's not bad enough that Wolverine has regeneration. He's also got a stop click on here. There you go. Take a look at the back there. 75 and 50. Regeneration doesn't kick in on him too early, though. It looks like he's just got a little last click regeneration. Very cool there. All right, move on to Beast. Let's see. Beast, set number 2 of the Fast Forces. He comes in at 50. Like I said, he's got that unique ring. You can see the silver ring around his dial. Illuminati, X-Force, X-Men, Animal, and Scientist. He also has the Mutant CIA. I think this whole set, actually, here, the Fast Forces is all maybe X-Force. 5 steps ahead is another trait. When an opposing character takes a free action, give Beast a planning token. Free. Remove 2 planning tokens to remove an action token from a friendly character with the X-Men keyword. Oh boy, so he's giving free actions. Let's take a look at the back of the card here. A little sidestep. Not too deep, but that planning trait is probably why you can't use more than one of him, because you're just removing tokens all over the board at that point. So you're getting a good taste of one of the ongoing books from Dawn of X, which is why in my mind I'm like, maybe they should have called this set Dawn of X, because they are dealing with more than just House and Powers of X. Here we go. Marvel Girl, set number 3. Phoenix Force, Quiet Council, X-Force, and X-Men. Yes, Quiet Council is now a keyword. That is awesome. I'm going to be dealing some heavy hitters with Quiet Council. Set number 3. She comes in at 75 or 50 points. the Mutant CIA, which we've seen. She also has Krakow Revival. Refer to the Krakow Revival Bystanders card. We'll have to go hunt for that. She has a special movement power, psychic interrogation, mind control, and sidestep. Look at the back of her card here real quick. That special power on the first 3 clicks. Got some energy shield deflection, which is a constant on almost every Jean Grey. Good to have you back, Jean. Good to have you back. She's one of the few X-Men characters that stayed dead for a very long time. I mean, I know they brought all new X-Men. They had the young Jean Grey come forward and that whole situation, and she was around. You had a Jean Grey, but having her back is pretty incredible. Okay, moving on to Domino. Domino's storyline starts out really rough in X-Force. She's abducted by an anti-mutant group. You come to find out who it is later on. But they start taking pieces of her skin off and grafting it onto these skinless assassins and trying to give them her luck power, much like the Reavers used to do. You know, stealing powers, putting them on, grafting them on. It's tough. So that's why she has this Krakowan growth on her arm there, because they're trying to heal her and they're also giving her this Krakowan weaponry. X-Force, X-Man, Soldier. Set number 4 comes in at 50 or 25. The Mutant CIA. She also has a special attack power, Neuro-Responsive War Mitten. It's not a branch. Choose one power or ability to use this turn. Blades Claws Fangs, Precision Strike, or Giant Reach of 2. And that is what Forge did for her, created that little arm cannon there. She also has a special damage power. It's like my luck is lesser somehow, like a rabbit foot with the fur worn off. Probability control, but only to reroll 1 die of an attack roll. That is a big part of the story for Domino and what is happening in X-Force and the ongoing right now, is that she's kind of losing her luck power. She gets it in fits and spurts, but it used to be, just a thoughtless process for her, and now she's having to really work to activate it. Look at the back of the card here. Not too shabby. 6 clicks long. She got that 3-click 25-point dial, but, it fits onto smaller team builds. Very cool. I just love the idea of Forge, and I hope we get a Forge in the set. He builds this giant mech suit out of Krakowan, like out of the Krakowan organism, and I don't know, Forge is evolving because he's using biological tissue as well as machinery and building these biomechanical weapons, which are, they're pretty intense. But he has this giant mech suit that he walks around in. It's got a big cannon on the back and everything. Hopefully we get one of those later in the set. Here we go. Forge is number 5. Take a look at his card and his sculpt here. X-Force, X-Men, Armor, and Scientist. The Mutant CIA trait. I save my best toys for myself. Gives him flight, plasticity, and sidestep. Special damage power. If you're looking for toys and stuffed animals, you came to the wrong place. Unique modifier. Other friendly characters that are adjacent or have the X-Men keyword modify damage by +1. So he is kind of granting them all with a little bit of extra damage, which is awesome. The back of his card here, he's got that special movement power all the way down, and he's got that damage boost happening on the first 3 clicks there. Comes in at 75 or 50 points. Pretty solid so far. Last but not least, we have Sage, otherwise known as Tessa. She's been around for a long time, through the good and the bad, through crazy storylines. She was around in Extreme X-Men a long time ago with Lifeguard and all those people. She's been on and off Excalibur. But here we go. We got Exiles, Hellfire Club, X-Force, X-Men, and Scientists. So it's the more current version of Sage. She's got the Mutant CIA trait. She's got another trait, monitoring worldwide for anti-mutant activities. During each opponent's turn, their force can't use the following powers more than once each. Outwit, Perplex, Probability Control. They can only use Outwit once, Perplex once, and Probability Control once separately. That is an awesome power, kind of muting the kind of, squad that usually carry around the Perplex, Probability Control. The pit crew is what people used to call it. It really limits, if you're just having a tent pole and having a bunch of people Perplex up their defense or their damage, Sage puts a damper on all of that, which is really cool. Look at the back of her card. It's only 4 clicks long, but she's doing enough, I think, to really warrant that point value. I like this Sage a lot. Sage is so interesting on the island because everybody comes to her constantly. Where's this person? Where's this person? Where's that person? She's like, I'm not a babysitter. I monitor the comings and goings on the island, but I have another job I've got to do for X-Force. I got to make sure that I'm out there making sure that we are stopping what is coming. We knew that the humans were going to act out. They were going to have a bunch of anti-mutant groups, and I'm trying to help stop that. Oh, here we go. Krakow Revival Bystanders. Let's take a look at this card real quick. It seems that Jean had this Krakow Revival trait, and this explains it for us. For all characters with this trait, when a friendly standard character with the X-Men keyword and a lower point value would be KO'd by an opposing effect, you may instead choose to turn that character to its starting click. What? Oh, you can just resurrect them. That's awesome. And place them adjacent to a friendly character that can use this trait. If you do, your opponent scores that character and generates a bystander on this card of their choice, adjacent to any of their characters. Your opponent then scores 10 points for every bystander they generate this game via this trait, regardless of source. That's awesome. And it tells us here who we are going to get from the Quiet Council. Now, the Quiet Council is 12 members, specifically put together by Moira and Professor X and Magneto, chosen by them to sit at the Quiet Council. They're kind of the big behind-the-scenes decision makers of the new mutant nation of Krakow. And in this set, it looks like we're going to get Marvel Girl, Emma Frost, Mr. Sinister, Storm, Professor X, Magneto, Kate Pryde, Nightcrawler, and this is funny, Apocalypse. He now uses this just like weird A from the Krakowan language. He just says, refer to me as this weird A name. So it's kind of like a Prince maneuver. When Prince was just going by the symbol, now Apocalypse is doing it as well. So from the looks of it, we're missing, I think, 3 members of the Quiet Council. You heard a big list of them there. They're split into 4 houses: the House of Summer, Autumn, Winter, and Spring. The house, I think we're missing Exodus, who came pretty recently in an X-Men set. I think we're missing Sebastian Shaw, which I'm surprised about because the White Queen, Kate Pryde, is now the Red Queen, which is, spoilers, I told you they were coming. Kate Pryde, who is the Red Queen, and Sebastian Shaw, who is the Black King, they sit at one of the ends of the table. Then you've got Apocalypse, Exodus. We're missing Exodus, like I said. And I think we're missing Mystique. I think she's the last one that we're missing. But you have House Summer, which is Jean Grey and Storm and Kurt Wagner, who Nightcrawler. They're kind of seen as like the soul of the X-Men. They lend a lot of empathy to the decision-making process. And then you've heard all the rest of them that are sitting at the Quiet Council. That's awesome. Sinister is hilarious. Mr. Sinister is so good in these books. Anyway, there we go. So we are using this revival process that they have created. There's a group called the Five. It's Hope Summers, Egg, who used to be known as Gold Balls. Proteus, Tempest, and trying to remember if it's Elixir is the last one. We'll get to them. We'll get to the Five. But they have figured out a way. Gold Balls actually, the little gold balls he popped out, they're actually eggs. And everybody else uses their powers in conjunction to grow these eggs to size. They put basically a hard backup of every mutant's mind Cerebro is keeping a hold of, and they can inject it into these eggs, and they can resurrect any X-Man who has fallen, or any mutant who has fallen that they have the DNA of on record in the hard backup. And so that's why Mr. Sinister has come into play. There's a lot of moving parts, but the Five can resurrect anyone. So you have people like Janie Braddock coming back, Mikhail Rasputin is coming back, like all of these mutants that have died over time, Shinobi Shaw, that were seen as mutants that we, didn't need to be a part of a world where mutants and humans are trying to coexist. They're bringing them all back now because now mutants are just trying to coexist with themselves. It's crazy storyline. Anyway, we got a couple of team-up cards in here as well. So it looks like we're getting team-ups in this set. Everybody get strapped in because we're gonna be working hard to collect all of these. I can tell you that. Team Up X-Men theme team. Team Up Angel, Archangel, Cyclops, Iceman, Jean Grey, and Marvel Girl. Oh man, so that's like old X-Men Blue, right? Oh, this is crazy. We're gonna get, oh, this is awesome. So not only are we getting House of X and Powers of X now, but we're getting these team up cards that are specifically built around X-Men team ups in the history of X-Men. So that second one we looked at, Angel, Archangel, Cyclops, Iceman, Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, early 90s X-Men team. That's awesome. I'm not going to read through all of the things that it does for them. I mean, the cards are basically the same except for giving just this little boost when you team up with somebody. And it just gives you an extra boost if you're running a theme team specific. So we'll see how many team up cards we pull today. All right, now we get to the two boosters. I know I told you guys to buckle up. It was going to be a long ride today. It's only today because we have all this extra stuff. And the extra stuff is very, very cool. But now we go. This is the main show. Let's see if I can pull a super rare or a prime, something on day one. I usually am able to do it. Man, this brick took a little bit of a beating in transport here. All right, let's see. First booster, we have. Oh, we've got some cool guys already. We've got Psylocke. Now, I wonder if that is Quanon, because now Elizabeth Braddock and Quanon are separated. So Psylocke is actually Quanon now, which is very cool. We've got Raza from the Starjammers. Plays a big part in the first story arc of New Mutants in Dawn of X. So cool to see some Starjammers in here. We've got Mr. Sinister himself. The first scene you see Mr. Sinister in House of X is just hilarious. It's all these Sinister clones fighting each other, killing each other constantly. We've got the main set Domino, so we'll be able to see the difference between her and the Fast Forces Domino. And we've got Marvel Girl, so we'll be able to see the difference between Marvel Girl and the Fast Forces and Marvel Girl here. We'll see if we get any team-up cards. I mean, there's so many team-up opportunities in this set that it's going to be crazy. I mean, everybody's got a favorite writer. Everybody's got a favorite run of X-Men. So, we'll see how many people's feelings get hurt. What was your favorite run? I want to know in the comment section below. What was your favorite run of X-Men? Your favorite lineup or your favorite run by any writer ever? Tell me in the comments down below. And it doesn't have to be mainstream X-Men. It can be anything else. Like, I would probably say that my favorite run ever is Peter David's first X-Factor run in the mid-90s. So let me know in the comments below. Okay, here we go with, let's take a look at a new figure. Let's look at Raza first. Raza from the Starjammers. Has a really great scene between him and Magic on board Corsair's ship. He's got Starjammers, Pirate, Robot, and Warrior. He's set number 50. Comes in at 45 points. Got a trait. Deadliest of the swashbuckling space pirates. Precision strike and power. When Raza uses Empower, friendly characters with the Starjammers keyword modify damage by +2 instead. Whoa! Wow, +2 Empower there. He's also got a special defense power, Parry and Riposte. Super senses, but succeeds on a 4-6. When Raza evades a close attack, after resolutions, deal damage to the attacker equal to the printed damage value. What? Let's flip this card over here and take a peek at it real quick. We're dealing with 3 natural damage on the first 3 clicks. It's pretty impressive. He's got Blades Claw's Fangs. He's got a high attack value. He's pretty great. Charge and Blades Claw's Fangs for 45 points, as well as a little probability control that comes later on his dial. That's impressive. I like his dial a lot. All right, moving on. We'll take a look at Mr. Sinister. Boom. It's nice to get a main set Mr. Sinister. This Mr. Sinister is actually uncommon. He's set number 31. He comes in at 85 points. He's got Krakow Revival because he's a member of the Quiet Council, which we read. He's got another special damage power, collecting samples to learn how to replicate powers. Outwit. When Mr. Sinister uses it and chooses a standard power the target can use, he can use the chosen power until your next turn. If the targeted character has the X-Men keyword, choose an adjacent friendly character to also use the chosen power until your next turn. So he can't only give those chosen powers to himself, he can actually give them to other people that are with him. Let's flip this card over real quick. Take a look at the back there. Pretty solid dial, 85 points. I'm liking what I see already from this. I was hoping it was not going to be like a hyper min-max set. We're already getting some 85-point characters, 75 points a piece in the Fast Forces. Really great. We'll take a look at Psylocke next. And yes, it is Quanon. Awesome. She had her own book in Dawn of X called Fallen Angels, which was really, really great and was a lot of fun. And you saw Psylocke able to use some new powers. She's got the Hand, Hellions, X-Men, Assassin, Martial Artist, and Spy. Set number 5, okay, comes in at 50 points. Jump, Little Caterpillar, Fly. Yes, I was wondering if they're going to let Psylocke fly. There's a scene, I think it's like issue 6 of Fallen Angels, where she has to get to the top of this giant skyscraper to battle the big bad at the end of that series. Apoth, I think his name is, which that's a villain we can have in this. Apoth, you know, the villain of the first Fallen Angels arc. And she flies to the top. She literally grows these purple psionic wings and she flies herself. So cool. So now she can fly. That's awesome. She also has Psionic Katana, Incapacitate, Mind Control. Once per turn, when Psylocke uses either and hits after resolutions, she can use the other one at no cost. Woo! What? Incap and then Mind Control back to back, no problem. We'll take a look at the back of the card. Special powers stick around for a little while. Ooh, 50 points. Yeah, I am digging this already. I think I'm going to split these guys up as non-traditional X-Men and X-Men here. And since Quanon, you know, she does her own thing, she's going over there. All right, let's take a look at Domino and see the difference between her Fast Forces and her main set. Her main set comes in at 60 points, not 50 or 25. Set number 12, X-Force, X-Men, Assassin, and Spy. She's got the Mutant CIA trait. She's got plant-based Krakowan arm cannon. Choose one, Energy Explosion, Incapacitate with 2 targets, or Penetrating Psychic Blast. Domino can use that power this turn, and you'll see, if I can find the other card, that is actually called Neuro-Responsive War Mitten in the Fast Forces. So this is the Fast Forces here, and yeah, it gives her a different set of powers: Blades, Claws, Fangs, Precision Strike, or Giant Reach of 2. So awesome. This little weapon of hers can do an awful lot. We'll look at the back of the card. She's got some running shot in the main set card here, and there you go. Yeah, probability control is pretty strong. It's not falling apart like her other power. Her other figure has that fritzing probability control. She doesn't have that here. Okay, last but not least from this one is Marvel Girl. Marvel Girl, Jean Grey. She has Phoenix Force, Quiet Council, X-Factor, X-Force, X-Men, Cosmic, and Ruler. Interesting. She still has Cosmic, even though she told the Phoenix Force to go ahead and goodbye, bye-bye. And she got rid of it, but she still has the Cosmic keyword here. Interesting. So maybe this isn't just current Jean Grey. She's got Krakow Revival, which we've read. She also has a special damage power, Psychic Backlash, Outwit. When a friendly character with the X-Men keyword is targeted by Outwit, after resolutions, roll a d6. On a roll of 4 to 6, deal the opposing character that used Outwit 1 penetrating damage. Well done. Set number 20 comes in at 80 points. Take a look at what she does here on the back. Semi-shallow dial has that special damage power alternating with probability control. There is a lot of probability control in this set from what I've seen already, which is going to make for some challenging attacks throughout the course. We also got, since we had 2 people in this booster, Sinister and Jean Grey, we got 2 Krakow Revival Bystander cards. And remember, the tokens are exactly the bystanders that are on these cards. So you might need to be procuring additional token packs if you're like me and you get a little anal about that stuff, wanting to have those particular pieces on the board. And remember, your opponent gets to choose which of those bystanders they want to generate every time you decide to use that revival mechanic. All right, second and last booster of the day. I know this was a longer video, guys and gals. Thank you for sticking with me. When they send me this much cool stuff, I just have to share it with you. That's just how it has to go. Oh, yeah, here we go. Heavy hitter right in the front of this pack. Magneto. What a great sculpt, too. Oh, my gosh. Chamber looks incredible. We got Chamber here. We've got Egg. His name is now Egg. I'm always going to affectionately refer to him as Gold Balls. I mean, it's just how can you not, right? And then we've got Rachel Gray. That's interesting. That's an old school costume, I believe. I think that's from like the early 2000s when she was with X-Men. Rachel Gray, I think she now calls herself Prestige, I believe, which she doesn't like. I think other people call her Prestige. She's not a big fan. And then we got another Beast. So yet another version of Beast who was in Fast Forces. So we'll take a look at the difference between the two of them, the two Beasts that we got. Yeah, since we have Magneto, we have another Krakow Revival Bystander card. We're going to have a lot of those, I suppose, in this set because there are so many members of the Quiet Council, 9 of them in the set. Let's take a look at Rachel Gray first and see, because this isn't her current situation. This is not her current costume at all. Rachel Gray, set number 1, comes in at 40 points. Excalibur, Phoenix Force, Starjammers, X-Men, future keywords, no special abilities at all. We'll just look at the back of her dial real quick, and yep, there we go. X-Men 2004, Uncanny X-Men there. Yeah, interesting that they chose to go with an older version of her. We can all bet money right now that... oh, look at the sculpts between her and Marvel Girl, by the way. Pretty similar. Pretty similar. But I think we can bet right now that we're going to get another version of Rachel in the set. Not too shabby, not overly impressive, but all right, let's go with Chamber next. Like I said, as far as people who are jumping in and they're kind of loving the nostalgia of getting a lot of the old New Mutants back, yeah, the New Mutants book, you do have Sunspot, you've got Karma and Mirage, and you've got Doug Ramsey, Cypher, but you've also got some Gen X members. You've got Mondo, and you've got Chamber. Chamber's actually a pretty big part of that book, but look at this sculpt, y'all. Look at that sculpt. Look at all of this translucence here coming out of the back of his neck. This is one of the best sculpts I've seen of just the normal standing pose, but what they were able to do with Chamber is pretty incredible. Really stepped up their game, I'm seeing so far. All of these paint jobs look amazing. I know WizKids went to a new sculpt size. I mean, these guys look pretty big, actually, and I think it gives them a chance to do a little more detail. There's a bunch of different colors on here. The detail looks great, and like I said, that all of his fire energy coming out of his throat there is just really, really cool. He's got Generation X, New Mutants, and X-Men. Trait, here's to pacifism. Shape change. Chamber can't attack unless a friendly character was attacked since your last turn, or he is the only character on your force. Another trait, my body is just a shell for psionic energy. When Chamber is KO'd by an opponent's attack, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to each character within 3 squares, and he is protected against Pulse Wave. So when you knock him out, he does his little Pulse Wave of his own, and he's protected against Pulse Wave. There you go. 4 clicks long, only 35 points, and he is set number 28. Very cool, though. The New Mutants book is interesting because Hickman writes half of it, and then someone else writes the other half, and it follows the New Mutants as they go off into space with the Starjammers to go try and find Cannonball, who's now married to Smasher, who is one of the Imperial Guard with the Shi'ar Empire, the Shi'ar Empire. And they go, and Bobby DaCosta, Sunspot, wants to get his best friend back. So that's why they go on their very first mission. And Scott Summers okays it, and he takes Cypher with him. And the funny thing about that is Cypher is the only person that speaks Krakoa's language. And so him being off-world causes a whole big, huge issue for a bunch of different mutants who need to talk to Krakoa and they can't talk to him because he only talks to Cypher. So it's pretty funny. They're doing a lot of great, interweaving of characters. Where are they? What's the impact? There's not a lot of continuity issues. You're like, wait, if this guy's here, how is he also here at the same exact time? And it's pretty impressive because they have so many different authors that are involved. But in the off issues, you'll go a couple of issues with that team of New Mutants, and then a couple of other issues with Boom Boom and Armor and Glob Herman and Beak. So they're stealing from a bunch of different generations of newer mutants, whether it's the young mutants that were in Grant Morrison's new X-Men run, or the actual new X-Men themselves, or Generation X. So pretty cool group of figures that they're using, and the possibilities for this set are endless. They are just endless because every single mutant is on Krakoa, so they can choose anybody that they want to put in this set. I'm hoping we get a bunch of guys that we haven't seen yet, like Egg. Okay, here we go. Fabio Medina comes in at 25 points. He's set number 32, and like I said, he's one of the 5, and that is a keyword. That's awesome. The 5 and X-Men. The 5, Egg. When a friendly character is chosen for the Krakow Revival trait, after resolutions, you may generate 3 light objects in a single square adjacent to that character. Interesting. Special damage power, Eggs to spare. Generate a light object. So yes, he is just constantly going to be popping out light objects, hopefully to be used by your characters with telekinesis or super strength. So that's interesting. He doesn't have Krakow Revival himself. Look at the back of his card there real quick. 5 clicks long for 25 points is not too shabby. But that's an interesting mechanic because now the 5 don't actually grant resurrection. You have to be chosen by the Quiet Council to get resurrected. And then once that order comes down, the 5 who are celebrated and revered on the island. They have they have their resurrection chamber in the base of this big beautiful tree on Krakoa, and people look at them they're the heroes they are. They're bringing their loved ones back to life. There is a line, 1,000 miles long of mutants who are coming and have to show proof of death of their loved one who was a mutant, and they have to get it cleared by the Quiet Council. So that's really interesting. The Quiet Council clears you to get revived. Once you get revived, you get a special ability by whatever member of the 5 you have on your force, I guess. It'll be interesting to see what the other members of the 5 do. Proteus, I can only imagine what Proteus grants every figure that you revive. That's cool. The Krakow Revival situation is awesome. Bystanders popping out. You're counting points for your opponent, but they get bystanders, and you get special abilities granted by the 5. It's confusing, but awesome all at the same time. Okay, Beast. Let's go with Beast here. Beast has, he's set number 9, comes in at 50 points. He's got X-Force, X-Men, and Scientist. He's got the Mutant CIA trait, and that is it. So he's a little bit different than his Fast Forces for sure. More of a straightforward dial. He's got some leadership, some perplex. He gets a little ferocious at the end there with his close combat expert. He goes ham a little bit at the end. All right, last but not least for the day. I did not pull a prime, did not pull a super rare. It is a rarity. Usually I start in the back right corner of the booster, and usually I pull something special on the first day, but we had so much goodness today it doesn't even matter. Let's look at Magneto here. Like I said, he just looks like a boss in this white and silver get-up that he's been rocking for the last couple of years. Ever since they got depowered kind of after the whole Avengers, X-Men, Phoenix situation. His powers were on the fritz, but he started going with that white costume. Now he's got this white, silver. Looks great. He's very tall, though, I have to say. It's very big. I'm interested to stack him up against old Magnetos and see these new sculpts, how they literally stack up. He's got Acolytes, Brotherhood of Mutants, Quiet Council, X-Men, Deity, Politician, and Ruler. He's set number 44. He comes in at 3 different point totals here. Let's take a look at the back real quick and see what he comes in at. 150, 90, and 25. So 150, 90, and 25. And the Quiet Council only is the Magneto at 90 points, I think it says on the Krakow Revival card. So I think that's the only one that can use it. Krakow Revival, yeah, he's got a trait here. Krakow Revival, 90 points only. So the 90 point is the only one that's actually a member of the Quiet Council. He's got a special defense power, executing Moira's plan. Energy shield deflection, mastermind, but he may choose a friendly character within 4 squares in line of fire instead of adjacent. Ooh, well done. Special damage power, breaking human norms, leadership. If no other friendly character has been placed this turn, choose an opposing character within range that attacked Magneto or damaged a friendly character with the X-Men keyword since your last turn. Place Magneto such that he can make a ranged attack targeting the chosen character, then do so targeting only that character. The retaliation of Magneto is nasty. I'll let you get one more look at the back of the card here. 10 clicks long. 10 clicks, 3 targets, 8 range, 12 starting damage for a 150-point character. This Magneto is bonkers. Very, very cool. And you know what? We have one special treat. I know I didn't pull a super rare, and I was thinking maybe we'd wait to take a look at Rogue. I don't know if you guys out there have seen what Rogue does, but in Excalibur, in the first arc of Excalibur, they're dealing with Otherworld. They're dealing with Elizabeth Braddock becoming the new Captain Britain. Brian Braddock has become this dark emissary for Morgan Le Fay in Otherworld. Excalibur is the mystical, magical portion of the X-Men universe, which is really cool. Dawn of X, you've got the New Mutants who are out spacefaring. You've got X-Force, which is like the CIA. You've got the Marauders, who are on a mission to save mutants around the world in countries that won't allow them to access the Krakowan gates to come home, like Russia, Brazil. So they're on a boat sailing around trying to rescue mutants all around the world. That's headed up by Kate Pryde. But you have the mystical element of it, and the magical element of Apocalypse is coming through big time, and it's basically Apocalypse versus Morgan Le Fay in that whole book series. And at one point, Rogue is like Sleeping Beauty. She's like put to sleep, and she's got like this blue coffin over her. Gambit's all pissed off. And when she finally wakes up, she goes and attacks Apocalypse, and he says, yeah, take all my power, kill me. I'll come back. And she basically becomes Apocalypse Rogue, which is what they sent me. It is prize support for this set. And here we go, Apocalypse Rogue. So you got Excalibur, Horseman, X-Men, and Mystical. She comes in at 100 points. She has Excalibur, Mystical Protectors, which we haven't seen this trait yet. She has the Mystic's team ability, but only triggers during ranged attacks. She also has Protected against the Mystic's team ability. Very cool. She has trait, we stopped the monsters, we sealed the whatever that was. When Rogue KOs an opposing bystander after resolutions, KO all opposing bystanders. She has another trait, I killed him. Sideline active. When a friendly character named Rogue KOs a higher point opposing character, roll a d6. If the KO'd character was 100 plus points, increase the result by +1. On a 6 plus, you may replace that Rogue with this character on the same click number. Wait a minute, what? You can basically KO your opponent's piece, and then if you want to, use that piece back on them? That is rad. Am I misunderstanding that? Tell me in the comments section. I got to read that all again. You guys understand that I read all of these as I'm talking to you. I'm reading them for the first time. So I'm trying to compute in my head as I'm also communicating all this stuff to you. Yeah, when a friendly character named Rogue KOs a higher point opposing character. Yeah, you KO the opposing character, and then you take their figure, and then you use their figure against them. That's awesome. That is so cool. Well done, WizKids. The flavor text in this stuff is so cool, too. You know, Rogue's got some flavor text. I'm taking you off of those horses. Horses didn't do nothing to deserve getting a beat down. That's something she says when she's fighting the evil knights under Morgan Le Fay's control in Otherworld. Each of these teams are so uniquely built. Like I said, you've got Apocalypse and Rogue and Gambit. Jubilee is in that book, and her son Shogo, when they go through the gate to Otherworld, becomes a giant dragon. Hopefully we get giant dragon Shogo in this set. He blows some fire, melts a hole in between the realities, and so Otherworld starts to spill out onto Earth. And that's what that first story arc is really about. But the team is built to be really cool, just kind of relationship-wise in the book. They play really well together, but in HeroClix form, I bet you they're going to play well together too. So, all right, without further ado, that is the end of the first day of the unboxing series for House of X, the new Marvel HeroClix set. And I don't know if you could tell, I'm beaming. The character selection we got today was pretty incredible. The tokens look great. The Bystander, the Krakow Revival situation is such a cool game mechanic. This is going to be bonkers this entire week. The set comes out on December the 9th. So make sure you call your local brick and mortar stores, your comic shops, your game stores, and order through them. Make sure you support them every single day. They have gotten us through very dark times in almost all of our lives. I know when I was loneliest and I was traveling from city to city to city for work where I didn't know anybody, my first stop would always be to find a comic shop, go in and find people that I could relate to and I could talk with. And that's what comic shops meant to me my entire life. And once I started playing HeroClix, game stores started to mean the same thing to me. I would go to a new city, I would find out where a HeroClix event was happening, and I'd go. Even if I didn't play, I'd just go and hang out. That's what they've meant to me my whole life. This has been a super rough year for stores like that. So please get your orders in if you can. Of course, if you can. Order through them and help support them. They've meant the world to us. Once again, this is Scott Porter coming to you from Hyper RPG Studios. Thank you so much to them for allowing me to come in and shoot these videos. Thank you so much to WizKids for sending me all this stuff to share with you guys. And last but not least, it's good to see you guys again. Thank you for showing up time and time again. You allow me to keep on doing these unboxing series, a game that I love dearly on comic books that I am just an immense fan of, and then I get to nerd out and chat with you guys. Tell me in the comment section below if you guys are super hyper excited like I am for the rest of the set. Let me know what you think we're going to see the rest of the week. Now that I have a baseline of what I'm looking at here, it's just going to be a lot of those Dawn of X teams, I think. I'd be interested to see if we're going to see and have any of the adversaries of those teams early on. But there's not a ton of villains, so to speak. It's really about them forging their own nation, becoming something unified as mutants. So I'm just excited to get mutants of all shapes, sizes, colors, alignments, and I am stoked. So, guys, I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of this unboxing. Again, sorry for the long video. Hope it was worth it. I'll see you then, and until I do, may all your rolls be critical hits. I rolled a 9. Not too bad. Peace.